Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, with liberty and
Meeting has been posted according to open meeting laws. Trustee Runichi.
Here.
Commissioner Arndt. Here. Commissioner Batani.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes.
Here.
Commissioner Morath.
Here.
Commissioner Leaderhouse, right?
Here, correct.
In the absence of the village president, I'm going to ask for a motion to appoint the chairperson for the meeting.
I'll make a motion to appoint 40.
Second that.
That's right, I need to take the vote. All in favor? Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Motion carries. Well, I'm using that in this role, so. Just a reminder for everybody, and we have our newest member, Jacob, here, if you guys hadn't had an opportunity to meet him. But for Jacob, and a reminder for everybody else, please use your microphones. We are broadcasting this on YouTube, and we will also have some participants in attendance remotely for one of the applications, so we'll want to make sure that they can hear us.
I think what I'd like to do first, before we do anything else, I have Eileen to introduce our new member of the Planning Commission.
Jacob Leaderhouse. He's our newest member. It's his first meeting. We went through orientation recently. I don't know if you want him to share any details for you.
Just, if you could, just give us a little bit of background or ideas or who you are or...
My name is Jacob Leaderhouse. I've been in the village for about 2 years now. The reason kind of why I wanted to join the Planning Commission is I have a little bit of a construction background myself. Actually, right now working in the mechanical industry for fire protection and security. But one of the things is that, you know, I have a passion for East Troy. I mean, I've visited East Troy for many years now, but lived in here for 2, obviously. That's just a little bit about myself. If you want me to go into details.
Whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, I just wanted to have people understand what your motivation was for coming on to the Planning Commission, because we all appreciate it.
Yeah, it's for me, it's fun to see the plans, especially what's going on in East Troy, and then having a voice, you know, on what the next what East Troy is going to look like in the next, you know, 10, 15 years. That's kind of what motivates me. That's kind of what's passionate about me. So yeah, I'm excited. You know, I appreciate the opportunity to be on the board, and I'm excited to get more involved and be part of it.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Welcome to Plan Commission, and that'll teach you. Okay, I guess the item next up then is citizen participation. Citizen participation per village resolution 2017-01. Anyone wishing to address the Plan Commission during citizen participation will be allowed 5 minutes. Your subject can be anything, whether we're on the agenda or not. The Plan Commission should not engage in a discussion regarding comments because it was not part of the publicly noticed agenda. Upon conclusion of this citizen participation segment, members of the audience are not allowed further comment unless they are participating in a public hearing or if specifically allowed by a majority vote of the Plan Commission due to involvement in an agenda item. Now, with that, is there anybody that would wish to speak during citizen participation? You made me say all that and nobody wants to speak. Okay. Is there anybody else that would like to speak during citizen participation? I have to ask 3 times. That's the Robert's Rules of Order. So. Okay, nobody wishes to speak during citizen participation. With that, I will close citizen participation, then move on to the approval of the Plan Commission minutes of January 10th of 2022. I'll make a motion to approve the Plan Commission minutes of January 10th, 2022.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda, and Eileen, if I make any mistakes, just jump in and correct me right away, would you please? Certified survey map to merge two adjoining parcels, lots 41 and 42 of Lindale subdivision, located at 1876 Ridge Drive, RLS 00041, Jason and Angela Smalley, applicant, application 2021-39. Possible recommendation by by Plan Commission to the Village Board. Would you like to speak on it, Jason? Or Angela? Push him down, let him,
We're just looking to join our two lots, so we can use our backyard, for more than just staring at grass. So we're hoping to eventually expand it into putting a deck and, some concrete in. So, yeah, we're hoping everything goes through so we don't have any issues. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
So that's the extent of the addition, is just like a deck and patio type?
For right now,
Yeah.
yeah, we're looking at, possibly putting in a swim spa, so, extending it past. Our first lot is about 8 foot off of our back patio, so we really can't do anything with it.
Is this a lot that you purchased recently, or did you have it for a long time?
We purchased the house 2 years ago, so
Okay.
both lots came with it. And from my understanding, the, lot was available for sale quite a while ago, and there was never any bites on it. Pretty awkward lot.
Anybody else have questions for Jason? Tim, do you have any questions in regards?
Just pointing out the staff report, there is a proposed motion for your consideration. Again, this is a recommendation from the Plan Commission to the Village Board. There are the 4 general conditions of approval, and then there are 7 specific conditions specifically related to the proposed CSM. All those special approvals or conditions are pretty straightforward. They're technical, they're minor corrections on the CSM, so it's pretty straightforward.
Tim, does that also include the marking or the utility right away?
Pretty sure that's on there.
You're talking about the utility,
Right, when you're asking for the I was looking here, petitioners, this is say surveyor's signature must, the marking, the setbacks.
so one of the special conditions is basically to provide some dimension lines from the lot lines to the structure. There is an easement on the south side of the lots, that hasn't changed.
Do any of the Plan Commission members have any questions? Tim, is there anything else?
I'd almost recommend to the Village Board the approval of the certified survey map based on a general and
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Are there any other questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. You have to give me a break here. I've just a little bit since I have to kind of keep track of stuff here. Item 8 would be the final development plan for Union Street Planned Development District located at 2931 Union Street, ROP 00075, Steve Lambrick's applicant, application of 2022-04. And this will be possible decision by the Plan Commission. Mr. Lambricks?
You should have in front of you the first, and second floor plans that we submitted. Jacob, you probably haven't seen this before, but I think everybody else has, seen it. Basically, what we're asking for is to be able to convert the existing classrooms into office space. Kind of numbered each office and given you an approximate square footage so you have an idea. Yet, really no structural changes that we're doing. It's simply, painting, cosmetic type stuff. So, questions?
Here I see on your, first floor here, you got office one, and you got two office twos.
Well, because they're kind of small, we were kind of thinking that one person or one firm would rent both of those. They are individual spaces, but we just did it that way because they're only 200 square feet. Kind of how we, so I mean, potentially, I guess or we could have called it a storage room. Back of a better, like we kind of did on the second floor, but that's why it's numbered that way.
So if they put, if somebody does take those two offices, you gonna have a door in between, or
No,
just leave it alone?
No, it's all going to be entered because virtually all of these walls, interior walls, are concrete block. So it's kind of difficult to remove those.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, would you give us the staff report on that, please?
So just real quick, obviously this is the second part of a two-step process. This is the final, development plan. Obviously, proposed uses, strictly limited to office, no additions, no improvements, beyond what you see here. Obviously, the building inspector will need to verify that the number of office spaces and so on and so forth is able to be accommodated by the restrooms, and there's fire access and egress. So you're not, actually approving anything that's building code related. You're just approving the use within the building structure.
So then there really aren't any more questions or anything that we have to be concerned about other than just voting either on approval or denial.
Right, with a final development plan, the Plan Commission makes the final decision.
So this isn't the final plan then?
It is.
Oh.
Clarify, I think what Tim
I'm sorry.
means is you're making the final decision.
So are you proposed of having 6 different businesses in these offices, or just 1 or 2 companies maybe?
Well, I mean, it's certainly possible that you could have 6 different. I don't anticipate that. On the square, my daughter and son-in-law are also involved in this. They've also owned the building on the square, and like half of one side of the whole lower level of the square is one business, taking up 5 offices, and then the other side is made up of 2 different companies. That's how we're anticipating that someone is going to want to, I would anticipate that one company or one firm would want to do like the first floor, and then maybe 2 or 3 others, second floor.
And Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was also your thinking that it's a possibility of having like an office conglomerate where people may want to come in, one person may want to rent an office or share an office with another person, and
Certainly possible.
right.
Like
I'm
I
just
say,
saying, it could be broken up a bunch of ways.
It could be, correct. But there is going to be no nighttime uses. It's just basically during the day.
I think you mentioned before that the sanctuary is still rented by the
Yes,
church?
the church is renting it for sure through the month of February. We really don't have any plans set for that. There's some, again, cosmetic stuff that we'll need to do there. But I would think sometime in the future we'll be coming back to you guys with some type of plan for that, maybe as a theater group or something to use that stage and the auditorium part of it.
So, Tim, we would just be approving the office spaces, not the sanctuary be a totally different thing later on.
Correct.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, then, I guess we may want to entertain a motion.
All right. I will make a motion to approve the final development plan as set forth in the floor plan layout dated February 2nd, 2022, provided, number one, the zoning administrator issues a zoning permit after the building inspector determines that the proposed layout complies with applicable building codes in terms of ingress, egress, fire access, restrooms, and other similar standards. And number two, the building inspector issues all necessary building permits.
I'll second that. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 9, certified survey map to create one lot, 8.76 acres, on the east side of South Executive Way in the Village of East Troy, application 2022-03. And it's possible recommendation by the Plan Commission to the Village Board. Tim, you want to start
Sure,
out?
Just real quickly, this is probably like the third or fourth certified survey map you've seen for the new business park. This is creating one single parcel. It's 8.76 acres. And again, pretty straightforward. There are the 4 general conditions of approval and then 5 specific conditions, and they're listed in the staff report. Motion for your consideration, again, recommendation from Plan Commission to Village Board.
Does anybody on the Plan Commission have any questions? Okay, I'll look for a motion.
Was recommend the village board the approval of the area map based on general.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. For approval, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, site plan for a new facility, 40,000 square feet, for light manufacturing and distribution located off of South Executive Way, Max Apparel USA LLC. Applicant Christopher Wensler, agent, application 2022-02. Possible decision by the Plan Commission. Eileen, do we have somebody available?
Yes, we have a couple of people in attendance remotely. I'm going to allow them to talk. Tim, did you want to start by reviewing your staff report and then have them speak?
Maybe if they could just start and just give a real quick overview.
Yep, so
I've
hey,
unmuted you.
yep, this is Kyle Rowe from Bryan Building Corporation. Good to see everybody tonight. Thanks for letting us remote in, big help. Yeah, so what we're looking for approval on is like you have written down there, 40,000 square foot precast building. It will be used for light manufacturing, storage, and distribution. It's going to be located right by the MP Systems building up front there, and the occupant will be Max Apparel. They are an embroidery company that does anything from hats to shirts to coats, and basically using that as a distribution hub for them.
We're losing your audio.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
I'm not sure where I lost you or what you did or didn't hear.
We just heard the introduction and what Max Apparel does, that they're a
Oh,
great
sorry about that.
partner.
Yeah, so like you have, excuse me, like you have written down there, it's a 40,000 square foot precast facility. Going to kind of be the same look as the MP Systems building that will be going up out there in spring.
What is your timeline on this project?
We're looking to get started with the site work in June, if everything goes according to plan.
All right, that sounds nice. Do you have anything else?
No, not unless you guys have any specific questions for me.
I was just gonna go to the rest of the plan commission to see. Does anybody have questions, in regards to the project? Tim, I guess this is your cue now.
Okay. Again, this is pretty straightforward. They put together a really good, plan submittal in terms of the construction documents. They've adjusted outdoor lighting, stormwater management, the site plan layout, the actual building design. I just have a couple comments, and I think things are in the works to get them rectified. So essentially, for lighting, we have a standard of not exceeding a half-foot candle at the property boundary line. There were 2 lights on the south side of the property that exceeded that, and those have been taken out. And they have, as of later this afternoon, they have submitted a revised lighting plan that does comply. In terms of landscaping, they're just short a couple trees on the street, and that also is in the works. Aside from that, it obviously meets all the zoning requirements in terms of setbacks and building heights. They have a sign shown on the building, a wall sign, but there are no specifications in terms of, size and lighting and so on and so forth. So when they get to that point, then they'll have to resubmit or submit a signage plan for Plan Commission review and approval. There is a proposed motion, and it does kind of touch on some of the things that I had talked about, and that's on the second page at the bottom.
All right, I like the look of the building, the changes that Tim just talked about. I think we should move forward on this, so I will make a motion. Make a motion to approve the site plan, plan of operation for the project consisting of the 40,000 square foot building as set forth in the submittal documents, provided the 4 conditions, listed.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Kyle.
Okay, item 11, adoption of updated floodplain regulations, application 2022-05. I guess the first item on the is a public hearing. Correct? All right. And I just open a public hearing, which I shall do at this time. Anybody interested in speaking towards this item, you're more than welcome to step up and speak because it is a public hearing. And again, anybody wishing to speak during the public hearing?
Maybe what I can do is just give a real quick overview.
There you go.
This is a something that is derived from us having floodplain regulations. The proposed ordinance is essentially reorganizing those floodplain regulations, kind of pulling them out of the zoning chapter, creating a standalone chapter, and it does follow the DNR's model ordinance. And basically, in order to allow people to buy flood insurance in the village has to have floodplain regulations that comply with the DNR's model. And maps were recently updated, and that's why we're having to basically use the most current version of the DNR's model. And this would be a recommendation from the Plan Commission to the Village Board. Consequences of not having floodplain regulations, again, is people couldn't buy flood insurance.
Do you have anything else, Tim? Okay, because I had a couple questions I wrote down here. Believe it or not, I read it. But I guess my first question, you explained why this is coming in front of us. But I guess the second question I had is there any effect to the existing businesses in the village due to this change?
So the only thing that really changed in terms of the old version versus what's being proposed is the map itself. And just minor changes were made along the edges. There are really no properties that are going to be in the floodplain that currently aren't. So, I mean, it's just very inconsequent. Yeah.
I understand. I guess the main reason I asked is because the last time our floodplains were changed because the DNR stepped in and said, you got to change it. Some of the businesses that were in our first industrial park were all of a sudden ended up half in a floodplain. And that caused a bit of a problem. And that's why I was just asking now about this. Okay. Then we have if there are no other questions, we have a potential motion for approval. Good idea. Thank you. So I guess I will close the public hearing if there's no other people to speak. Thank you. Public hearing being closed, I guess then should call for a vote. A motion?
Recommend the Village Board to approval of the proposed ordinance.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or thoughts? Okay, with that being said, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. I guess any recommendations for future agendas from anybody?
We have the TID4 development standards. Lay district for TID. And then after the village board has the public hearing for the comprehensive plan amendment related to district, won't we have to bring that back to talk that district?
Yes.
So the public hearing for the comp plan is at the Village Board meeting next week, 21st.
Correct, but we also have to talk about the zoning modifications, which there is going to be an ordinance, talk about what impact that has as far as zoning.
Right, and that would be at the next month's meeting.
So really that timeline's March 14th would be discussing the zoning changes, and then possibly the following month to have a.
Correct.
Got that item cleared up?
Sorry for the confusion.
That would either have been during citizen participation or a public hearing. Actually, not necessarily. It's just the public hearing is what's being proposed. That doesn't necessarily mean that there could not be any changes.
Correct. I mean, it doesn't even mean
That's
that
why
a
it's-
decision will be made that night.
That's why it's a public hearing, to take the input from the public. Are we all squared away now?
Are you okay with that? Are you good?
All right.
So would he want to attend the next board meeting?
Yes, at the next board meeting, that is the revision to the comprehensive plan. So the properties that are identified as transitional properties or being recategorized as far as the land use map. That's what's at the village board public hearing next. You're welcome to attend that as well if there's a property priced correctly. And then in March's meeting, March 14th, they'll discuss the ordinance that will correlate with these properties as far as the zoning, and probably they'll talk about dimensional standards, allowed uses, those type of things. Then the public hearing would possibly be sent for April based on how the discussion times. The Plan Commission will discuss an ordinance more than one meeting, whether they feel it's final enough to even put out for a public hearing. But again, a public hearing doesn't mean it. That, what they're discussing at the next village, to the comp plan, correct. No, because the comp plan, the zoning code has to comply with the comprehensive plan, so the comprehensive plan has to be changed, or the zoning code could be changed. It's guidance that we're supposed to follow. We can't change the zoning of a property if it doesn't comply with the future land use map in the comprehensive.
Okay, I guess, is there anything else? Being that I'm new to this. I guess if not, then our next meeting is March 14th. And, I will wait to hear for a motion to adjourn.
Good.
Motion, do we have a second? Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries.